Are we live?
Let's see if I can get on here on my phone.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Menopausal View. I am Jay, the Spicy Unicorn, and this is Jen,
The
Wonder
Wonder
Diva.
Diva.
And we're here to talk about foolishness on this happy Sunday. But first, we're getting our snacks in order because that's how we roll. So, we have our beverage. Where's your beverage at?
Right here.
Oh, that's nice. A nice mango. Alrighty.
See, I have Hello Kitty with Wonder Woman.
So,
And I am not able to access.
Jen's experiencing some technical difficulties at the moment. And I just want to say this. Dollar Tree, you have failed me. You have failed me utterly because this unicorn horn is not centered on the headband. I need a little bit more quality for $1. I'm just saying. You get me all excited because I'm like, oh, I get another unicorn headband. Then it's off center. And that ticks me off. So there that is. Anywho, what is the technical difficulty, madam?
I am trying to watch our video from my phone. Oh, I did it.
Look at you.
I am so smart.
You're so technical. Anyway. So, first I want to say, I have to do shout outs. We have to do shout outs first.
Yes, we have a couple of shout outs that we need to do. So,
First of all,
So I'm doing, I'm trying to watch us live from my phone because you're far away now.
and neither one of us have eyes strong enough to see
yeah.
your comments.
I don't know if you noticed, but we have kind of a different setup right now. We were having difficulty staying in the screen because for some reason, Facebook won't let us go sideways. So we had
So, like, all the time, it looked like this.
yeah, so we were like, and we were
like
like
this
playing
all
with
the
each
time.
other's boobs and butts all the time.
Yeah.
And we just felt like it was a little, I don't know, a little too much sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, we love each other, but like, you know.
Right. So, are we good? And excuse me, I'm going to be coughing periodically because I still have the croup or whatever, whooping cough or whatever this is. Typhoid fever, I don't know. Anyway, but it's still here. I feel fine though. Anyway. Back to our shout outs. So, we are so happy that you guys are joining us from England and from Japan and from Egypt and, from across the seas. We are so freaking delighted that you guys are enjoying this time that we all spend together. So I just want to throw out a couple shout outs before we jump into this. I want to say howdy to Miss Grace Mahaney from Newfoundland. Lorna Cochran Bate from Ireland. Christine Anthony from the UK. And Pauline Bigger, you didn't say where you were from, but I just felt Pauline wasn't feeling well last week, and we helped to cheer her up while she was bedbound. So for that, I want to send a special shout out. I hope, honey, that you're feeling better and you're on the mend and you're up running marathons or whatever you're doing, wherever you are. World domination. Taking over, whatever local town you're located in. I hope that you're dominating that general vicinity.
World domination.
So there's that. Well done, my friend. Well done.
We also have a couple of regulars that are always tuning in, and I think
Yes.
that we should shout out to them as well.
Yes, we should.
So Lindsay and to Monica.
Yes, Monica Estep Williams.
And to Lindsay, I'm not even gonna, I always butcher her last name, so I'm not even gonna try.
Okay.
It's Dishnell or something. I don't know. She's my best friend, and I can't pronounce her last name.
It's how you roll.
I feel like she's doing good for me saying, I just call her Linz.
Okay. Well, and to my cousin, Mary Lancaster, who watches faithfully every single time that we're on live, and she always comments, which we love, love, love.
Yes, comments.
We want to say thank you for watching us, and thank you to everybody who has helped our Black Mask video get up to over 20,000 views now.
Yay!
When I say these two fluffy chicks are over the moon. We are over the freaking moon.
So I don't know what constitutes viral, but I'm just going to say I have decided we have gone viral.
So that was an executive decision now from us that now when you get 20,000 views, that is viral. That's it. I don't know what the qualifications for Facebook are, but we're going to have to talk to somebody about getting that amended.
Is that Chris? It hasn't shown up on my phone yet. So Chris, hi Chris.
Hi Chris. So if you are tuning in at a later time, because I want to say that the UK is like 6 hours ahead of us, because California is behind. Is it 6 hours? I think it's 6. 5 or 6, something like that.
Don't
anyway.
ask me to math. I don't math.
You don't math?
I don't math.
Anyway. If you are watching delayed, then we thank you. And I hope that you're having a wonderful evening, because it is actually... So somebody, whenever you are watching this is being done at 4 o'clock p.m.
Just so
Eastern Standard Time.
We started at 1. We planned this at 1.
We've planned to start this at 1, but I am always holding the production up. There was a lot that went into this production.
There was a lot tonight.
We moved our location to a bigger part, the different part of the thing. We're trying to green screen later on. So like for our YouTube, we're trying to get all this on YouTube too. So we're going to try to see what this, although I don't know if it has to be straight or what. I don't think it does. I think as long as it's green, it'll pick up the background.
Yeah, I think that's all it matters.
Anyway, we're going to have a really bizarre background. As soon as I figure out how to work it, that's what's going to go down.
As soon as we figured that part out.
Yep, soon as. But anyway, so now we have the tripod action, and we've got the hello, and then we have the live action here. As you can see, we are delighting ourselves with, Jen always has the best snacks. So
Veggies.
There that is. Because what's a day with your girlfriend if there aren't snacks involved?
Exactly.
And beverages. And I'm not drinking beer today because of this stupid hacky cough.
I have wine over there if you want one.
I'm not a fan of wine. I'm not. It makes my reflux act up. Plus, it tastes like rancid fruit to me. I know, right?
I'm sorry. I don't even know how to respond to that.
Do you drink wine?
I do.
I thought you weren't allowed to have it with your...
I'm not.
Okay.
But I used to. I used to enjoy wine.
Okay. I do not. I like beer. And I like Bud Light specifically, and Coronas. That's it. That's pretty much it for me. So, okay, so I want to say this before we launch into, because Jen had a topic too that she wanted to talk about. I want to tell you all how disturbed I am. How disturbed. So yesterday, first of all, and we'll touch a little bit more on this, I am menopausal, and our AC has been out now for 2.5 freaking weeks, okay? The house is over, I'm going to say it's knocking at 70 years old, and I don't think it's ever been updated. Like the furnace, the central air, the electrical system, none of it's been updated, right? So the central air was doing something funky. It went out. It caused the furnace to go out. Okay, that was one thing. And then turn around, excuse me. Then turn around, and we had, so they came in, they gave us a quote for, like $5,500 for the furnace and the AC, which was actually really cheap. I could tell you about the little man from Sears that came out. Anyway, but long story short, the whole electrical panel had to be replaced for another $5,500. I need for you all to help us go viral so that we can pay for electricity. That is what's happening here now. I'm begging you. So, I have been sweaty. I have been covered in a layer of goo. Like, even after I shower, it's like as soon as I step out onto the bath mat, the layer of goo is like, oh good, you're back. And it's right back on me. And I'm very disturbed by that. So, with that being said, we need a little help here.
So, what we were talking about on earlier while you were driving down here, we were discussing, the horrific things that were happening to your home. And ironically, we were discussing how we were both in the wrong business. Because I don't know how many of y'all know, but my house has flooded twice within 9 months. It flooded twice. And it was 7 days after we built it. So 7 days. We had 7 days.
Yeah.
This many. We had this many days.
Yep.
And then the house flooded. Our sump pump blew a pipe outside. So it wasn't covered by our insurance. The insurance paid to have the house dried, and that was it. We paid to have the sump pump replaced. Now keep in mind, this was a brand new sump pump. We had just had it replaced 6 months prior, just so you know. So this pipe burst outside, and since we were told since it had burst outside, it was not covered because the flooding was inside, and it was an outside of the house problem. So several thousand dollars later, we had to replace all the flooring, all the furniture,
Dollars and dollars and dollars. Yep.
yes, and the sump pump plumber charged us thousands of dollars to come out and replace the sump pump that they had just put in 6 months prior.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Sounds right.
And then 6 months later, it was 6 months. It was less than 6 months.
It wasn't 6 months.
It was 9 months.
No, I feel like it was sooner than that.
Okay, so
30 seconds later. It might as well have been freaking 30 seconds later.
30 seconds
something
later,
else goes wrong. And then, of course, it's like, oh, no, that's not covered under what you paid for.
Hang on. This time, the sump pump, we had a sump pump, so we had purchased a backup sump pump the last time. So the backup sump pump, the electricity went out. The backup sump pump got wet. How does the backup sump pump get wet? So the battery acid leaked into the sump pump. At least that's what we were told, because there was oil in the sump pump.
They might as well have said fairies came in the middle of the night.
But hang on.
And poured oil in water and crap in your sump pump.
So,
and you're at somebody's mercy. You're like, okay.
So several $1,000s later, we have another new sump pump. Now we have somebody come over and they're like, there's supposed to be oil in the sump pump. And we're like, okay, so now we're at our third sump pump. We have had to pay for emergency services twice. We've had to pay for new sump pumps, and these couple $1,000s. It's not just a couple $100. It's a couple $1,000
every time.
So then 6 months later, our sump pump stops again. We have to pay for them to come back out. Guess what was wrong with it this time? The person who put it in before, by the way, it's the same company, left remnants from the previous sump pump, and it blew the new sump pump. Guess we still had to pay for it, thousands of dollars. So we're now on our third or fourth sump pump that we have paid for from this same company, and I'm like, we're in the wrong.
Because see, once they reel you in, you don't have a choice but to keep paying them, because if you go out and try to find somebody else, they're going to have a question about, this kind of work and that, and they want to start from scratch. So you're like, okay, well, I'll just give them another $1,000 or another $1,000.
Thousands.
You're in.
I think we've spent like $15,000 by now.
I work it out. And I want to know, like, the people that tune in from another country, what is the hourly rate on average
for your plumbers and your electricians?
What is your going rate? Because ours evidently is somewhere up around $350, $400, because they price it out by the job instead of by the hour. Like, they're guesstimating about how many hours it might take. But if the job actually took you, even from
took an hour.
My electrical system took more than that. However, the equipment itself was, let's say the equipment was $400, $500. The actual labor that went into it, and don't get me wrong, you're talking about electricity here. Of course, we want it right. But I did the math, and I'm like, from the time that they were there, and then the time that, let's say they went to go to travel to go bring the stuff, you know, to go buy the equipment or whatever. That ended up working out to somewhere around between $350 and $400 an hour. And yeah, it was somewhere around that. I'm like, that is more than a doctor makes. That's what we need to be telling our kids, is that become an electrician or become a plumber. One of the two. Screw being a doctor. Screw that. Screw being a lawyer. Screw that. You want to be an electrician because you hold people's homes in the palm of your hand.
Their lives.
You can do what you want to. I don't think all of them are liars. I just think that, and plus, you know, like I said,
their lives.
Oh yes, absolutely. Because, you know, it's one of those things where, and once you get into, like, you know, somebody's home, then it's like pulling at the hem of clothes that come out of rainbow. I'm like, it's all gonna unravel. It's all gonna unravel, and it's horrible. It's terrible. So if you have a horror story, feel free to share with us, because
yes, please.
We'd like to feel like we're not the only ones that are being shafted with no lube.
Sir,
I bent over in front of you, sir. I did not invite you to partake. Just saying that. Oh, but I started to say yesterday, so we don't have any air. So we go up to my daughter's house, and we're up there because we have to stay up there because electricity was out until they got the panel replaced, right? So I'm sitting up watching Netflix, and I see this show being advertised with Samuel L. Jackson. Now, I am a Samuel L. Jackson fan, okay? But I'm like, oh man, there's a movie of his that I haven't seen? So I sit down and watch it. It's called, like, what is it called? Like The Negotiator or The Samaritan? Something like that. Anyway, there are several things I never want to see again. I never, ever, 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 ever want to see again. And that is Samuel L. Jackson in a love scene. They actually zoomed in at one point, and his nipple was hard, and it was in the frame of the thing. And now I'm traumatized because that is forever burned into my memory. Like, Samuel L. Jackson's stiff nipple is, like, right there. Like, it's right there. So I don't want to ever see him in another love scene. I don't ever want to see Richard Gere in another love scene, because did you see that one that he was in but he was old at that point? And don't get me wrong, Richard Gere may be hot as heck for, you know, during his youth. And even now, he is a decent looking older man. But there should be an age cutoff for men and women actors where we don't want to see you horseplay. I just don't want to see that. I don't want to see love scenes to begin with. I don't get into that. But especially if you have man boobs, if you have moobs, I don't want to see you. If your boobs are actually probably bigger, and once your nipples have gone from here to here, I don't want to see you nude anymore. I don't want to see you topless anymore. I want you to put on a wife beater. I want you to put on, you know, a camisole, something. I want you to cover those. Those need to be covered. Pasties, whatever it takes. And I don't want to see Robert Redford. That was traumatic. That was beyond traumatic. Him with that bad red toupee. And I love me some Robert Redford. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking down about him. I'm saying that there are some things that just shouldn't be allowed in the universe. And these are some things that we're going to correct once we become supreme rulers of the universe.
Dee says to tell that to Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. Is he the one with the thick porn star mustache? That he always plays like the cowboy, kind of badassy?
Yes.
I like Sam. And he was actually in Grace and Frankie doing a love scene with Jane Fonda. And I was traumatized about that too. Yes, his name goes on the list too. We're going to send him a letter. We'll send him a letter.
What about?
It'll be a nicely worded letter. And I love Sam. When I say I love these actors, their ability is, you know, unmatched.
What about, my brain's not working, Highlander, James Bond.
Sean Connery?
That one.
My God, don't do it. Don't do
Oh,
it.
honey.
Jesus be offense. Don't
no,
do it.
honey.
I don't want any parts of that either.
Man can just
Uh-uh.
talk to me, and I'd just be like,
Talking is one thing. I don't want to see you in your skivvies. I don't want to see it. I don't.
He's so sexy, though.
Mm-mm.
He's sexy.
No. No.
Yeah.
Oh! And this movie that I'm watching, right? With, what's his face? You know who I'm talking about.
Samuel L. Jackson.
That's it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
In this movie, not only am I traumatized because his hard nipples are there, he's actually, like, with this really young girl. He's clearly knocking at 60 in this movie, and there's a 25-year-old in the bed with him. First of all,
Ew.
what is the rest of your life looking like? Anyway. But he's in this movie, and it turns out that it's his daughter.
He's sleeping with his daughter?
Shut up. And from that point in the movie on, I just couldn't. And I don't know what that woman who played his daughter, but this movie was probably done in like 2007 or something. I don't think I've seen her in anything since, and that's probably why. Because you thought, oh my God, I'm going to be playing opposite. This is amazing. I'll be the lead woman in this movie playing opposite Samuel L. Jackson as his daughter that has an incestuous relationship with her father.
That's not the one.
I don't think you come back from that.
That's not what the one where he's... I know what you're talking about.
That is honestly
where
the
he's
first...
like out in the back. He's like a backwoods, like living in a cabin kind of thing.
No, that's with that... not Ryder.
Murphy.
No, it's with the skinny girl with the big eyes. I can't think of her name right now. I know who you're talking. I know what you're talking about, but no, he doesn't. Where they got the memes going, that's not the same movie. This movie, I should have left it where it was. Just let it be on Netflix. That's why.
Just let it go.
Yeah, I have to. But when I say like right now, I'm looking at my tea, but all I can see is Samuel Jackson's nipples. That's it. That's all I can. It all came back to me just then, and it's terrible. Terrible. Anyway, go ahead.
How long have we been on?
I don't know. I lost count. I got sidetracked.
So we've been on for 22 minutes.
Okay.
So we can stop here and go to the next video. Which I think we should do.
Really? We're just going to end it like that? Because you want to launch into something else. Mm-hmm. That's fine. So we're going to be right back. Stay tuned. We're just trying to break these up so that they're a little bit easier to watch, because each one of these episodes with us winding on turns into a whole hour-long production, and who the hell's got time for all that? So we're going to try to break these up into little bite-sized pieces.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. And I'm sorry that I talk so much. I'm going to shut up so Jen can talk some more.
She's kind of rude.
I am. I'm very rude. So anyway, we'll be right back. Think of this like a commercial break. Get up, go get yourself something to drink, tell a friend, you know, whatever.
Go get you a veggie tray.
Go get you a veggie tray or
you
what
can
else.
eat with us some popcorn and join us.
There you
and
go.
we need some more interaction. So I know that I don't put this on my page anymore because that's where we get most of the interaction. We're trying to get more people to come to the Menopausal View page because this is where we have to save the videos. So please, 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 please come back. Give us about 5 minutes and we'll be right back.
Tell them what we're going to be talking about, though.
Oh. There's a couple things we're going to be talking about. We're going to go over You Might Be an Asshole If. Some more of those. And we're also going to talk about what's going on Facebook these days.
Yes, Lord.
All right.
So, be right back.
Stay fabulous.
Stay fabulous.